You were never mature. You were just really, really good at surviving. And honestly, that hits different when you actually stop and think about it. Because here's the thing. Everyone around you is calling you the responsible one, the mature one, the kid who just had it together. And maybe you believed them. Maybe you were even a little proud of it. But real maturity? Real maturity grows in safe places. It grows when someone's protecting you, when you're allowed to mess up, when being a little childish is actually okay. What most of us built instead wasn't maturity, it was armor. And today, I want to talk about the 4 things that armor quietly did to you. Things that are probably still running in the background of your life right now without you even realizing it. Okay, so the first one. You learned to read the room before you learned to read a book. I mean that literally. Think about what that actually looked like as a kid. You'd walk into a room and instantly scan. Is today a good day or a bad day? Is this person okay, or are they one wrong word away from exploding? You weren't doing that because you were nosy. You were doing it because you had to, because knowing the temperature of a room kept you safe. Psychology calls it hyper-vigilance. And honestly, the name sounds so cold and clinical, but what it actually looks like in a real person, it looks like someone who's eerily good at reading people. Someone who knows something's off before anyone said a single word. Someone who walks into a party and immediately clocks who's upset, who's faking it, who's about to leave. That's not a party trick. That's a survival skill you built when you were, what, 7, 8? And here's the part that gets me. That radar doesn't just turn off because the danger's gone. You're still doing it. In work meetings, in first dates, in completely safe rooms with people who actually love you. You're still calculating, still bracing. It's not anxiety exactly. Well, okay, it can feel like anxiety, but what it actually is an old alarm system that nobody ever taught you how to switch off. It got you through, it really did. It just doesn't know the war is over. Okay, second thing, and this one I want you to sit with. You became fluent in silence. Not the peaceful kind, the strategic kind. When you grow up in an environment where saying the wrong thing had consequences, real consequences, conflict, coldness, punishment, you learn really fast that silence is safer than honesty. So you stopped talking as much. You started watching instead. You processed everything internally, quietly, in this whole rich world inside your head that nobody else ever got to see. Sound familiar? You're probably the person in the group who doesn't say a lot, but when you do say something, people actually stop and listen. You think in layers. You don't just think about what to say, you think about how it's going to land, what it might cost you, what door it might accidentally open. People probably call you private, hard to read, maybe even cold sometimes. And that one probably stings, right? Because you're not cold, you're cautious. There's a massive difference. Research into early emotional suppression shows that kids who learn to manage what they express grow into adults with incredibly deep inner worlds, but real difficulty letting people actually see them. And honestly, that makes complete sense. If being seen once got you hurt, why would you just hand that over to someone? The thing is, though, that depth you built in all that quiet is real. Your inner world is genuinely richer than most people. You just haven't always had the safe space to share it. And that's not your fault. Third thing, this is the one that tends to hit people hardest, so I'm just going to say it straight. You have a genuinely weird relationship with needing things. And the reason for that is because somewhere along the way, you absorbed this message, nobody ever had to say it out loud, that your needs were a burden, that wanting too much was dangerous, that other people had bigger problems, so you should just handle yours quietly. So you got small. You learned to need nothing, or at least to act like you needed nothing so perfectly that now, as an adult, asking for help feels like this massive, embarrassing thing. Honestly, it breaks my heart a little, because there's something so quietly painful about watching someone struggle with something that would take them 30 seconds to ask for help with, and they just won't. They just silently carry it. Psychology research into early self-sufficiency shows that kids who felt emotionally invisible grow into adults who believe their needs are invisible too, or worse, that their needs are actually inconvenient to other people. So what does this look like in real life? Someone offers to help you and your first instinct is, no, I'm fine. Someone gives you a genuine compliment and your whole body kind of rejects it. You give and give and give in relationships because being needed feels normal, being cared for feels suspicious. Here's what I want you to hear though. Letting yourself need things isn't weakness. It isn't going backwards. It is actually the most grown-up thing you can do right now. Real maturity, the kind you didn't get to choose as a kid, includes knowing how to receive. And the fourth one. This one runs quietly underneath all the others. You built an incredible capacity to keep going, but nobody ever gave you permission to stop. Think about it. The people who survived the most tend to just keep surviving, even after the hard part is over. There's a momentum to it. You keep managing, keep coping, keep holding everything together because stopping never felt safe. Rest wasn't something you learned. Rest was something that happened after everyone else was okay, if everyone else was okay. Research into chronic stress responses in people who faced early hardship shows something wild. The nervous system itself can get calibrated to crisis mode, not because something's broken, but because your body learned to live at a certain level of alert, and it got really, really good at that. The cost, though? It's this exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix. It's the background hum that follows you even on good days. It's the fact that vacations, somehow, still feel like something you need to manage. That peace, real, actual, quiet peace, still feels kind of foreign and strange. Crazy, right? That something as simple as resting can feel like the most uncomfortable thing in the world. If that's you, I see you, and I need you to hear this clearly. That's not a character flaw. That is a wound that spent years pretending to be a superpower. So here's where I want to land. Everything we just talked about, the scanning, the silence, the not needing, the not stopping, none of it is something wrong with you. It's what made sense given what you were working with. You built a life with tools that were never meant to be yours, and you made them work. That is genuinely extraordinary. But, and this is the part that matters most, there's a real difference between surviving and actually living. And at some point, maybe today, maybe after this video ends, it becomes worth asking which of these old patterns are still protecting me and which ones are just keeping me trapped in a version of myself that was built for a past that doesn't exist anymore. You don't have to keep scanning rooms that are safe. You don't have to keep your words locked up with people who have actually earned your trust. You don't have to apologize for having needs, and you are allowed, genuinely fully allowed, to rest without earning it first. The kid who survived all of that deserves to be honored, and maybe the most powerful way to honor them is to finally give them what they never got: permission to put the armor down. Even just a little, even just for now. If something in this felt true, if it felt like someone finally put words to something you've been quietly carrying, sit with that. Be gentle with yourself today. And if you want more of this kind of thing, the stuff that doesn't just explain psychology but actually explains you, subscribe. We do this every week. No hype, no noise. Just honest conversations about the most interesting subject there is: you.